There are moments in life when it feels like everything is crashing down, when you've given everything you've got, your time, your energy, your heart, and still nothing seems to work. You start asking yourself, what's the point? But listen, the moment you feel like giving up is the exact moment you're closest to your breakthrough. The pain you're feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you, refining you, and pushing you toward the person you were meant to become. This message is for the ones who are tired, for the dreamers who have been fighting for too long, for the hearts that are breaking but still beating. Don't you dare stop now, because this is the storm before your sunrise. Pain is not your enemy, it's your signal. It's the universe's way of telling you that you're alive, that you're being stretched, that you're in the middle of transformation. Every time life knocks you down, you have a choice to stay on the floor or rise stronger than before. The truth is, pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to wake you up. It strips away your comfort, your excuses, and your illusions, leaving behind only the truth of who you really are. When everything hurts, when everything feels impossible, that's when you meet the real you, the one that can't be broken. Think about the moments that shaped you the most. Were they the easy ones? No. They were the moments that tested you, the moments that broke your heart, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on but somehow did. Pain introduces you to the side of yourself that you didn't know existed. It's not there to hold you back. It's there to forge strength within you that no comfort zone could ever create. When you embrace the pain, instead of running from it, something incredible happens. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your growth. People who rise to greatness don't do it because life gave them easy paths. They rise because pain demanded more of them, more focus, more discipline, more faith. They stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what is this trying to teach me? When you begin to see pain as a teacher rather than a punishment, you unlock your power. Because now, instead of breaking under the weight of it, you use it to build yourself up. Every struggle becomes a rep in the gym of life. Every heartbreak becomes training for emotional resilience. Every setback becomes preparation for your next breakthrough. It's easy to look around and think everyone else has it easier. But the truth is, the strongest people you see are the ones who've endured the deepest pain. The difference is they didn't stop there. They transformed it. They turned their scars into armor. They turned their suffering into service. They found purpose in their pain. And you can too. Because every ounce of pain you're feeling is raw energy, and you get to decide what to do with it. You can waste it on anger, self-pity, or blame, or you can use it as fuel to rise, to fight, to grow. You have to stop asking for the pain to go away and start asking for the strength to grow through it. Because life will not stop testing you. Every level comes with a new challenge, and every challenge comes with pain. But the higher you go, the more powerful you become. Pain isn't there to remind you of your weakness. It's there to prove your potential. And the moment you realize that the pain you're feeling today is shaping the power you'll need tomorrow, everything begins to change. When you feel like giving up, the voice inside your head will try to convince you that you're done, that you've reached your limit, that there's no point in trying anymore. But that voice is a liar. It's the voice of fear, exhaustion, and doubt, not truth. The truth is you're never really out of strength, you're just out of alignment. You've forgotten why you started, what you were fighting for, and the power that's still inside you waiting to be reignited. The moment you reconnect with that inner fire, the same obstacles that once looked impossible will suddenly look like opportunities. There's a difference between being tired and being finished. Everyone gets tired. Everyone hits the wall. But the people who win are the ones who learn how to rest without quitting. They understand that hitting the wall doesn't mean the race is over. It means you're about to grow. Because that wall isn't there to stop you. It's there to separate those who say they want it from those who mean it. Every time you push through when you don't feel like it, you're reprogramming your mind to be stronger than your emotions. And that is where the breakthrough happens, in the space between I can't and I will anyway. Most people give up right before the miracle happens. They stop digging just a few inches before striking gold. They let their temporary feelings make a permanent decision. But what if you held on just a little longer? What if everything you've been waiting for is on the other side of this exact moment of struggle? That's how life works. It tests your patience, your consistency, your belief. It pushes you to your breaking point, not to punish you, but to see if you'll keep showing up when it's hardest. Because if you do, you're not the same person anymore. You've become unshakable. You have to remind yourself that you've survived every single bad day so far. Every time you thought you were done, you made it through. You might have scars, but those scars mean you didn't give up. And that's your proof, your evidence that you are capable of more than you think. You don't need someone else to save you. You need to remember who you are. You are the one who gets back up. You are the one who refuses to quit. You are the one who can take pain, fear, and uncertainty and still keep moving forward. When you're about to give up, it's not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you're close. It's the moment before the tide turns. Every great story has that point where the hero almost walks away. But the difference between those who make it and those who don't is one choice to keep going anyway. Because the moment you decide to move one more step, breathe one more breath, and fight one more round, that's the moment life begins to shift in your favor. Most people wait for motivation to show up before they take action, but that's not how real transformation works. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you move, when you push, when you act, even when you don't feel like it, something inside you begins to awaken. Your brain shifts from doubt to drive, from fear to focus. The hardest part of any journey is the beginning. That first step when your mind is screaming that it's not worth it. But once you move, even a little momentum starts to build. And momentum is more powerful than motivation. You can't wait for the perfect time, the perfect feeling, or the perfect plan because they don't exist. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. The people who succeed are the ones who start before they feel ready. They act first and trust that clarity will come along the way. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the first step. That one step forward, no matter how small, changes everything because it's not the size of the step that matters, it's the direction. The moment you take action, you shift from being a victim of life to being the author of it. When you sit still, your fear grows louder. It feeds on hesitation, on overthinking, on the stories you tell yourself about why it's not the right time. But when you move, when you start doing something, anything, your fear loses its grip because fear can't survive in motion. The moment you start taking action, you stop focusing on what might go wrong and start focusing on what you can do right now, and that simple shift changes everything. You begin to realize that progress isn't about giant leaps, it's about small, consistent steps taken every single day. Every time you take action in the face of fear, you're building evidence that you can handle more than you think. You start to rewire your brain to see challenges as opportunities instead of threats. You create habits of strength instead of patterns of avoidance. And those habits compound over time until they create unstoppable momentum. People will look at you and call it confidence, but it's not confidence, it's evidence. It's proof that you've done hard things before and can do them again. So when you feel stuck, don't overthink, move. Even if you don't know exactly where you're going, move anyway. Take that step, write that email, make that call, go for that run, do something. Because once you're in motion, you'll remember what it feels like to be alive again. You'll start to feel your power coming back. And that's when everything starts to change, not when you think about it, not when you talk about it, but when you do something about it. There's a moment in every journey where your body is tired, your heart is heavy, and your mind whispers that you've done enough, that maybe it's time to stop. But that moment isn't a signal to quit. It's the point where growth begins. It's the space between who you are and who you're becoming. The truth is, the human spirit is far more powerful than you realize. You don't truly discover your strength and comfort or success. You discover it when you have every reason to give up, but don't. When everything inside you says, I can't, and you still take one more step, you prove to yourself that your limits were never real. The body will always want to stop before the mind is finished, and the mind will always want to stop before the soul is fulfilled. That's why discipline exists, to carry you through the moments your emotions can't. You don't need to feel like doing it, you just need to do it anyway. Because every time you choose action over excuses, you build power. Every time you show up when you don't feel ready, you build character. Every time you keep going when you could have quit, you build faith. And those are the moments that separate the average from the extraordinary. The people you admire, the ones who seem unbreakable, aren't stronger because life was easier for them. They're stronger because they learned to keep going when everything was falling apart. They felt pain, fear, doubt, just like you, but they didn't let those feelings decide their future. They let their vision lead them instead of their emotions, because emotions are temporary, but the decisions you make in those emotional moments can shape the rest of your life. When you push through the pain, the exhaustion, the loneliness, you're not just getting through a hard moment, you're becoming someone new, someone who can handle more, lead more, and live more fully. Sometimes the reason life feels hard isn't because you're failing, it's because you're leveling up. Growth is uncomfortable. Progress hurts. But the pain you feel today is the foundation of the strength you'll need tomorrow. You can't develop mental toughness without struggle. You can't build resilience without resistance. You can't unlock your potential without pressure. Every difficulty is preparing you for something greater, but only if you keep going. The key is to stop making pain mean something's wrong. Instead, make it mean you're evolving. The discomfort is proof that you're expanding, stretching, growing beyond who you used to be. You're in the process of transformation, and that process isn't supposed to feel easy. So the next time you reach that breaking point, don't stop, breathe, reset, take another step, because right after the moment you want to quit, Life opens up in ways you can't imagine, and that's where real strength is born. Most people underestimate the power of their thoughts. They think their circumstances shape their life, but in truth, it's their mindset that decides everything. The way you think determines the way you feel, and the way you feel determines the way you act. If you think small, you live small. If you think like a victim, you'll keep finding reasons to feel powerless. But when you shift your thoughts toward possibility, resilience, and strength, your entire life begins to move in that direction. The mind is the steering wheel of your destiny, and if you learn to control it, there's nothing you can't change. When you feel like giving up, your mind will bombard you with reasons to stop, reasons that sound logical, even compassionate. You've tried enough. It's not working. You're just not meant for this. These thoughts feel real because they come dressed as truth, but they're really just fear in disguise. Fear isn't there to protect you. It's there to keep you the same. It will try to convince you to stay in your comfort zone because comfort is familiar and familiarity feels safe. But safety isn't growth. Safety is stagnation. If you keep thinking the same way, you'll keep living the same life. The real shift happens when you stop identifying with those thoughts. You are not your fear. You are not your doubt. You are the one who observes them, and that means you have power over them. You can choose what to believe. You can choose what to focus on. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, you have two options. You can feed it or you can replace it with truth. The truth that you've made it through worse. The truth that you're capable of more. The truth that your potential is far bigger than your pain. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about directing your focus toward what strengthens you instead of what weakens you. Because where focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on what's missing, you'll feel empty. If you focus on what's possible, you'll feel empowered. The mind follows your attention like a compass. It will lead you to whatever you continually think about. That's why mental discipline is everything. The moment you start controlling your focus, you start controlling your life. Every breakthrough starts with a change in mindset. When you stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? You unlock new solutions. When you stop seeing failure as a dead end and start seeing it as feedback, you take back your power. Every successful person has mastered this internal dialogue. They've learned to talk themselves into greatness instead of out of it. You can do the same. Because the moment you master your mind, the world stops being your obstacle and starts becoming your opportunity. The most powerful force in your life is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It's belief. What you believe about yourself becomes the foundation for every decision, every action, every outcome you experience. If deep down you believe you're not enough, that belief will quietly sabotage every goal you set. You'll hold back, hesitate, or quit when things get hard. But if you believe you are capable, resourceful, and worthy, you'll find a way to rise no matter what stands in your path. Belief isn't something you wait to feel, it's something you decide to build. It starts as a choice, not a feeling. Every person who's ever done something extraordinary started with a belief. Not in their circumstances, but in themselves. They didn't have all the answers, they didn't have all the tools, but they believed they could figure it out. That belief gave them the courage to start and the endurance to keep going when things got tough. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they stop believing before the results show up. They let fear write their story instead of faith. They talk themselves out of possibilities because they can't see the evidence. Forgetting that belief always comes before proof. You have to believe even when you have no reason to. You have to believe when everything looks impossible, when the people around you doubt you, when your mind starts whispering that it's too late, because belief is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you believe, your brain starts finding solutions instead of excuses. You start showing up differently. You start seeing opportunities you used to miss. Your energy changes, and that energy changes your world. The secret is to feed your belief every single day. Protect it like it's oxygen, because it is. What you listen to, who you spend time with, what you say to yourself, all of it either strengthens or weakens your belief. You can't expect to live an unstoppable life while surrounding yourself with doubt, negativity, and fear. You have to build an environment that fuels your fire, not one that drains it. Speak words that empower you. Feed your mind with growth. Remember your wins no matter how small. Every little act of progress reinforces your identity as someone who doesn't quit. The truth is, belief is a skill. It's not something you either have or don't. It's something you practice. You build it every time you keep your word to yourself. You strengthen it every time you act in alignment with your vision. You prove to yourself again and again that you can trust you. And once you truly believe, deeply, unshakably, that you were made for more, that you are capable of rising no matter what, there's nothing left that can stop you. Because belief turns ordinary people into forces of nature. It turns your pain into purpose, your doubt into direction, and your dreams into reality. When you've been through enough storms, you start to realize something powerful. Life was never about avoiding the pain, the struggle, or the doubt. It was about learning to rise in the middle of it. Every moment you wanted to quit, but didn't, every time you pushed through the fear, every single second you chose to keep going, those were the moments that built the real you, the unbreakable you, the version of you that knows no matter how hard life hits, you can always rise again. You see, nothing in your life changes until you decide to change, not when you feel ready, not when the world gives you permission. But when you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm done playing small, I'm done letting fear win, I'm ready to rise, that decision, that single shift in your soul is the moment your life begins to move in a new direction. Because strength doesn't come from what you can control, it comes from what you overcome. You are far stronger than you think, and this moment right now could be the one that transforms everything. So don't let this message fade when the video ends. Take it with you. When you wake up tomorrow, remind yourself you're not behind, you're not broken, and you're not done. You're becoming, you're in progress. You're in the middle of building the version of yourself that can handle everything you've been praying for. Keep fighting for that person. Keep believing for that breakthrough. Because if you don't quit, if you just keep showing up, your time will come. Now, before you go, if this message spoke to you, if it hit something inside that reminded you of your power, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and join this growing family of people who refuse to give up. Together, we rise. Thank you for watching, for showing up, and for being the kind of person who's still standing, still growing, still believing. Your presence here means more than you know. You, until next time, keep your head high, your heart strong, and your mind focused. Remember, you are unstoppable. See you in the next video, and never forget, your story isn't over yet.